AVRant and SVS have teamed up to bring you an unbelievable opportunity. Have you been dreaming of dual subwoofers? Perhaps you'd like to upgrade your entire 5.1 speaker package. Don't have the cash? AVRant and SVS have your back. Go to www.avrant.com right now for your chance to win your choice of dual PB1000 subwoofers or a prime 5.1 satellite speaker package. Contest ends September 30th. Don't wait. Open to the residents of the United States and Canada. We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AVRant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AVRant. I'm Tom Andry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
Gary. This is Infinite Gary. Infinite Gary was reading about the new Phase Technologies DARTS, which is their Digital Audio Reference Theater System speaker systems, lots of systems, with enhanced custom room calibration. It seems to him to be similar to JBL Synthesis, the ARCOS systems. Do we think it's comparable? Phase Tech has had this DART system out for a long time. I did not see this upgrade, but they're actually in Jacksonville. So I have had friends, Jay Clark, Dina's husband, absolutely is in love with this system. This is his dream system. He has heard it multiple times and thinks it's the best thing ever. I've heard it. I didn't necessarily think it was the best thing ever, but it was a trade show, and frankly, I don't put much stock in what I hear at trade shows unless it's totally awful, in which case then I think it's the gospel truth. But the DART system, it is a high-end, high-tech system that's really, I mean, it was way ahead of its time, I think, when it came out.
Yeah, well,
nowadays.
So I was going to say, the claim to fame of DARTS is that every individual driver, not every individual speaker, every individual driver of every speaker has its own independent amplifier, and every single one of those amplifier to individual driver signal chains is independently corrected with Odyssey, using Odyssey Pro. So this is an Odyssey-based system. They're using Odyssey Pro, but they aren't just correcting a speaker at a time. They're correcting a driver at a time. It's that granular. And the upgrade that is being mentioned here over on Twice, and if you want links for the things that we talk about or products that we recommend, come to avrant.com. We'll have the links to articles and things that we reference. The upgrade here is that they've upgraded the processor to Atmos. So that's what's going on here. They're adding more processor channels, of course, to be able to support Atmos and immersive audio, and but still the same idea. Every single individual driver has its own amp, and every amp is corrected individually with Odyssey Pro. So yeah, that's the system. It can be very impressive because that's very fine granular control.
But all of these systems, a lot of these systems, unfortunately, are sold to people who just want the best and are willing to spend whatever it is to get it. But they really don't care about what they're doing with it past that.
Right.
They want to say, I have the Phase Tech DART system, I have the JBL Synthesis system, I have, the Klipsch Everest speakers or whatever they are.
And
all these
in this case, we're talking
$17,000
minimum for the 5.2.2 system,
yes.
Right? Up to $49,000 for the 7.4.4 system. So high prices.
This system is only, I hate to say it, it is only as good as, first of all, the room it's in and the installer that sets it up. It's only as good as the room. Odyssey is not magic.
Nope.
It's not. It can't fix everything. You can't put this thing in a gymnasium and it's going to sound like an amazing concert hall.
It's fur filters.
Experience.
That's what it is. It's fur filters.
It's great. I'm saying it's great. We love Odyssey, but it is not a panacea. It will not fix everything. It needs to be in a good room. So, do I think it's comparable? I think that if you put a JBL synthesis system in a terrible room and this in a great room, it's going to sound way better. And vice versa. You put them both in the same room, I don't know, man. it's probably going to be 6 of one, half dozen of
Yeah, I mean,
another.
Arcos can be set up quite similarly. That is entirely possible. You'll be using their crown amplifiers. You can have it where each crown amplifier is powering an individual driver in the Arcos system. What I think Arcos still has an edge, in my opinion, is their subwoofer setup routine. Because their subwoofer setup routine, whenever we've talked about, let's say you're positioning 2 or 4 subwoofers, but you don't have a rectangular room, and or you aren't able to put the 4 subs in the 4 corners or in the midpoints of each wall, and therefore you kind of have to do the trial and error process of adjusting phase individually to try and get uniform response across all your seats. Well, Arcos automates that process. They set up between 8 and 15 microphones throughout the room, and then they have a processor that it just keeps on playing sweeps. It keeps on playing sweeps over and over and over, measuring at all of those microphones simultaneously, adjusting the phase of 4 subwoofers independently until it gets uniform response across all of those microphones, and then applies an EQ to get you back to linear. It does the brute force trial and error for you. I love that. You pay a hefty price for it, but that's cool. That's pretty awesome. So I still have to give Arcos the edge. If you're paying this kind of money, that's the way I would lean myself.
Well, like I said, if you put it in the right room, it's not going to have to do any of those things anyways. So when it comes, they're both going to be great systems.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. At this price point, you would expect them to be great systems, and you would be extremely happy with either one of them, honestly. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AVRant.
Now go out and listen to something.